Okay, now let's come to his lectures on fine arts. Okay, this is a series of lectures that Hegel gave between 1818 and 1829, first in Heidelberg, then in Berlin, and these were later compiled from a manuscript plus lecture notes by his students and published after his death as lectures on fine arts. These were not published by Hegel himself. They are the work of an editor, but they form one of the philosophy's most immense and systematic philosophy of art. This work is sometimes known by an alternative title, that is the philosophy of fine art. It was compiled in 1835 by his student Heinrich Gustav Otto using Hegel's own handwritten notes. क्योंकि ये हीगल ने खुद नहीं राइट किए थे, दैट्स वाई समटाइम्स इट इज़ डिफ़िकल्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड. इट डज़ नॉट हैव दैट कोहेरेंस एंड दैट्स अ स्ट्रीम ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस एंड दैट line of thought. It is that's why there are multiple topics. So let's start. He begins his lecture. He begins by briefly commenting on the word aesthetics. He says, you can see that the quote of Hegel, what he says about aesthetic, that it is not wholly satisfactory. It means that he is somehow distancing himself from the word aesthetic, and he says that it was a term that was coming in fashion at his time. He says that the word is superficial, but he will keep on using it because it does not have any replacement. And he says that aesthetic is a philosophy, and in fact it's a philosophy of art. Okay, next you can see the quote on the slide. The Hegel says that the proper expression of our science is philosophy of art, and more definitely the philosophy of fine art. So although many critics asked him to define what is the difference between aesthetic and philosophy of fine art, but he didn't explain it. Now, what was beauty to Hegel? What he says about beauty? Hegel says, you can see on your slide the first quotation, the beauty of art is higher than the beauty of nature. As he is talking about beauty, and we generally associate beauty with the beauty of nature, beauty of trees, flowers, sun, moon. But he says that if we see in the scientific way, then nature is not beautiful, but art is beautiful in a scientific way. Why art is more beautiful? Because art is related to human spirits. Humans are the one who makes art. That's why human spirits is more higher, more beautiful, more important than nature. Okay, it is the beautiful thing ever in the world, ever in the nature, because art has a spirituality and freedom in it that is always present in it. Now, what is spirituality and what is freedom? According to Hegel, spirituality, because humans are the spirits who make it. Okay, and what is freedom? That we cannot classify the beauty. According to Hegel, to attain the absolute idea, that is the totality of expressions, it has absolute spirituality, absolute freedom. We cannot classify the beauty of nature. We have no criteria that we say that flower is more beautiful than sun. So Hegel will limit his investigation to the beauty and of art. If beauty is to express the human freedom, it must be made by humans. Okay, we can see the human spirit in art. And he further says that even a useless notion that enters in man's head is higher than the product of nature. वो कहता है कि अगर एक बच्चा एक पेंटिंग बनाता है ना, उसकी वो पेंटिंग भी दुनिया के खूबसूरत तीन फ्लावर से भी ज़्यादा अच्छी है. This is how it gives importance to art. Art is an absolute idea of human spirit, bestest idea of human spirit, because it has spirituality and it has freedom in it. Okay. Then he goes on refuting some of the objections that were propounded by the critics of his time, and he refutes it, that actually clarify his concept of art. In the next, he is in a very smart way, he is refuting the objections of the critics who says that fine art does not deserve any scientific treatment, and art and beauty pleases us in many areas of life, but we may question how important they are. So इसमें दो objections हैं कि scientific treatment deserve नहीं करता art, and secondly जो है how important, it's not important thing. So this is what critics says. So In our daily life, it is said that art is a relaxation, art is a luxury, and we can't earn money from art, it's not useful, why should we do art? These are all the questions in our mind, and we question that how important the art is. So every time when we see movies, we see dramas, we draw paintings, we read books, we write poems, everything we do is in the every creative thing that we do is in the idea of art that pleases us. So still people are asking about that how important the art is. So Hegel replies that art has a moral purpose, that tell us the moral stories of gods, of religion, of faith, of humanity through poetry and through any work of art. Secondly, art has a sensuous quality, as well as art has a reason, a logic. It means that it has a purpose. We are not interested in art as mere play of entertainment, as mere luxury. We are interested in art because it has freedom and it portrays the human spirit. It has its own way to describe the humanity. It has divinity. It describes gods. So he says that art, although art is pure appearance, but इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि it's unreal. He says that all the scientific concrete things are not real. Art form is made real in a way because it is closer to spirit, and spirit जो है वो absolute truth है. That's why art is real. Okay, and then he says that current art is not like it was in the past. In Greek era it was just about appearance, it was just about religion. In Christian era it was more toward the spirit, and now it is a philosophy. It's not just an art, it's a philosophy, and it has evolved through century. Okay, its content and forms have been changed. First it was a pure thought, then it came to spirit. It was seen in different directions with logic, and then it became a philosophy. Okay, so art is not something that is useless, it pleases us, and it is something that is close to our spirit. Next, about the second about the second objection, he says that as critic says that it does not require anti-scientific treatment because this deal with imagination. It has no laws, no logic, it's free than nature. Okay, nature has its laws, like a tree will remain tree should be in the green color. Okay, and पेंटिंग में हम ब्लू कलर का भी ट्री जो है वो ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं. सो it has no laws like that, it's free. But Hegel says that beauty is universal. Art जो है its origin is from our heart, it is a product of our spirit, and there is a thought and a conceptual thinking. Like if art is इट हैज़ अ कॉन्सेप्चुअल थिंकिंग. वो कहते हैं कि आर्ट जो है फ्री है, उसके कोई लॉज नहीं है, तो उसको हम किस तरह साइंटिफिकली स्टडी कर सकते हैं. लेकिन यहाँ पे हिगल कहता है कि इसकी एक थॉट है, इसकी एक कॉन्सेप्चुअल थिंकिंग है. अब देखें, एक आर्ट का प्रोडक्ट है पेंटिंग. वी सी दैट वॉट शेड, कलर, मटेरियल एंड फॉर्म शुड बी यूज टू मेक painting, and likewise we see in the poetry that which form should be used, about which content should be used to write poetry, and which colors, like for art, which colors we should mix, and which shade is not looking okay. So these all require the scientific temperament, and thus art is spiritual because spirit generates these kind of temperaments, and spirit knows the medium, form, content that should be appropriated to achieve absolute idealism. So art is the philosophy, and philosophy is the science. Okay, so he is basically taunting the critics here that what do you think that philosophy don't have guts to understand the art. So he is telling that art has this logic, a scientific temperament, it could be studied scientifically. Then he is also describing the two different ways in which we can study, we can treat the beauty of art. Two ways, two lenses through which we can see the beauty of art. First is the empirical and second is theoretical. First of all, empirical way है, दूसरा है theoretical way. Empirical way is to look at the existed work of art that has evolved and that is still existing. It means that we have to look at the work of art from the historical point of view. Okay, to see in order to see from the historical point of view, study history, we have to use our sense and we have to use spirit. Okay, we use our senses in order to get appreciation of art, and we use our spirit for that reason too. To appreciate the art, we appreciate the art on the already given parameters. Okay, or for the historical facts, we study the logical historical facts, and which art is more beautiful. In this way we study artistic beauty और scientific beauty को हम प्रेज करते हैं आर्ट की. So we can study the art from different cultures and regions. Okay, art is not beauty is basically universal. It should not be regionalized. Love and passion के वर्ड जो हैं वो कॉमन हैं, चाहे वो इंडियन कल्चर में हो चाहे वो चाइनीज़ कल्चर में हो. अब उसको आर्ट में जैसे पोर्ट्रे किया जाएगा, दे विल स्टिल लुक ब्यूटीफुल no matter whatever the form is and whatever the region or culture is. But one thing, history is obviously different, but साइंटिफिक स्टडी जब हम करते हैं, इस तरह एनालिटिक होते हैं, तो बेसिकली हम वी इग्नोर द एक्चुअल ब्यूटी ऑफ आर्ट and we live in the limit of rules. This is the only negative impact of using the empirical form to study the beauty of art. And the second is the theoretical. Empirical जब हम पढ़ते हैं तो हम लिमिटाइज रहते हैं हिस्ट्री के साथ, हम उसकी जो एक्चुअल ब्यूटी है उसको इग्नोर कर देते हैं, on which basis we should judge the perfect work of art. So this is not as much as effective. So about the theoretical art, he says that we see at the work of art and we reflect its beauty. Okay, this is the theoretical work, but Hegel says that we should look at the empirical as well as theoretical. Both are important. Okay, now what was his concept of the beauty of art? His concept of beauty of art was that it should have the artistic beauty, because beauty is a philosophy and philosophy is broad. That's it, he says about beauty of, that is his concept of beauty of art. Now he gave some common ideas of art. Okay, he gave 3 basic ideas, that it's a product of human spirit, not nature. Okay, now Kant जो है उसने एक रोमांटिक असम्पशन दी थी कि दैट ओनली द जिसके पास आर्टिस्टिक जीनियस होता है वही जो है आर्ट को प्रोड्यूस कर सकता है. फिर इस वजह से यहाँ पे एक क्वेश्चन अरोज होता है कि अगर जिसके पास आर्टिस्टिक जीनियस है, अगर उसी ने आर्ट को गेन करना है, देन वाई वी लर्न आर्ट, वाई वी प्रैक्टिस आर्ट. ओके, सो हीगल यहाँ पे ये कहता है कि इफ़ वन पर्सन हैव अ लिटिल जीनियस एंड मच हार्ड वर्क, ही कैन स्टिल गेन आर्ट. सो उसने उस रोमांटिक असम्पशन से डिसएग्री किया जो कि कैंट की थी, बिकॉज इट्स अ प्रोडक्ट ऑफ ह्यूमन स्पिरिट. As I told you that we are more conscious than nature. Our spirit is more conscious. Even a small beauty, that is a beauty product that is made by a child, is more beautiful than a flower. Okay. Second is that why art is important. Why art is important? Because it appeals to our senses. It appeals to our it appeals to our spirit. We usually associate. We have self-association with art. As the work of art is a work of consciousness, we deal with the art in a theoretical way and in a practical way. Theoretical way, like अगर मैं म्यूज़िक पसंद करती हूँ तो मैं उसके साथ खुद को रिलेट करूँगी और मैं उस म्यूज़िक को फील करूँगी जैसे कि म्यूज़िक मुझे फील कर रहा है, मुझे कॉल कर रहा है. So in a practical way, I will create my own music. So in this way, art works. Okay. Third, he says that art has an aim. Art has a aim. What is the art aim? Art is the imitation of nature. We ourselves are a nature. Our spirit is nature. So why we need to imitate the outside world? We are imitating our spirit. Okay, it awakens and vivifies our feelings. We feel nature, we can see nature, we can smell nature, we can smell art, we can feel art, वी कैन टच आर्ट, वी कैन टेस्ट आर्ट. आप लोगों को याद है कि हमने ओडोनाग्रेशियन आर्ट हमने पढ़ी थी, किस तरह उसमें जो है सेंशुअस इमेजरी को यूज़ करके एक पूरा वर्ड पोर्ट्रे किया गया था, लाइक वाइल इन ओड टू नाइटिंगेल. ओके, स्मेल एंड टेस्ट की इमेजरी बहुत अच्छे से पोर्ट्रे की गई है और इसका ऑलरेडी एक पर्पस है. इट हैज़ अ मॉरल डायरेक्टिंग पर्पस, एज आई हैड ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू. सो हीगल सेज दैट इट्स ओके इफ़ यू आर forming an art that is particularly beautiful but not universally. Don't worry, something that appeals to you does not appeal to everyone. You are believing in your spirit, you are making a new kind of art, you are forming a synthesis with a thesis and antithesis, and you are bringing novelty in the work of art. So it's a dialectic process. Okay, as I told you that it is related to history. ये आर्ट में क्रिएटिविटी को प्रेफर करता है एंड इसमें सेंशुअस और स्पिरिचुअल यूनिवर्सैलिटी होनी चाहिए। ज़रूरी नहीं है कि सब लोग को पसंद आए, लेकिन आप जो चीज़ पसंद करते हैं ज़रूरी नहीं कि वो सब पसंद करें, बट आप एक नया प्रोडक्ट क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, दैट इज़ एप्रिशिएटेबल। उसके बाद डायलैक्टिक प्रोसेस है कि हिस्टोरिकल एवोल्यूशन ऑफ ब्यूटी ऑफ आर्ट, दैट ही कॉल्स देन द यूनिवर्सल मूवमेंट ऑफ आइडिया ऑफ ब्यूटी, दैट डिफरेंट within time there was a different in content and form. Then he explains the different stages and different forms of development of art, like symbolic art, classical art and romantic art. Symbolic art, that was in the only symbols were presented. Ancient eastern form of art was that, and that was the work of architects. आर्किटेक्चर का वर्क बहुत ज़्यादा होता था। क्लासिकल आर्ट है उसमें, that was based on the original concepts of God. Human spirit was used to form the art. There were the sculptures of God. Then came to the romantic art, that was well explained, that was absolute idea, that has absolute form, and that was the perfect art, that is the painting, poetry and music, that is also called the contemporary art, that is our time of art. So conclude, I can say that his idea of art was that art is beautiful if it has a rationality, the three stages of judging the art, if it has absolute idealism, if it is a dialectic process, like it has come from the process of historical evolution, and it has dynamic opposition, okay, and art is a product of human spirit. Thank you.